Hi friends, welcome all of you to the another class of inflammation. In the last class I discussed about the vascular events and I told how the neutrophils and the macrophages, how they enter into the interstitial fluid and the chemicals released by them. And now we will discuss about the cellular events. So now the neutrophils and macrophages are there in the interstitial space to fight against this bacteria, and these neutrophils and macrophages, they come around the bacteria and eat this bacteria, and this process is known as the phagocytosis. So the neutrophil undergo phagocytosis and macrophages also undergo phagocytosis. And now this is the stage of neutrophils and monocytes, and they have the vesicle. Now inside the cells we have vesicle. Inside the vesicle, now this bacteria are there. You can see the bacteria inside this vesicle. This vesicle is known as the phagosome, and the there's one more vesicle is there. This is known as lysosome. This lysosome has some specific hydrolytic enzyme, and these phagosome, now next step is that these phagosome, they fuse with the lysosome. So now this phagosome and lysosome, they fuse together, and then this lysosome release its enzyme and break down the cell wall of the bacteria. So this is known as the phagolysosome, because phagosomes and lysosomes are together now. Then now this is a stage. So the breakdown of the cell wall occur, but the antigen is still there, and this antigen, this phagolysosome fuses with the cell membrane, and they spits out these antigen into the interstitial fluid and circulate into the lymph node. This process is known as the exocytosis. Now I am talking about the activity of neutrophils. Sometimes there is an intense bacteria and it's hard to break down, so the neutrophil, they sacrifice themselves. How the process is that these neutrophils, they have the capability of taking the oxygen into superoxide anions and into the hypochlorous acid and hydroxide free radicals. So all these molecules are free radicals. So these free radicals, they come and release and destroy the bacterial proteins, cell wall and DNA. But these free radicals are very non-specific. It can also destroy the neutrophils DNA also. This is known as the oxidative burst. So because of the free radical reaction, the neutrophil is ready to die. They undergo apoptosis or cell fragmentation, and this neutrophil, they start release out its DNA, its chromatin, that is made up of histone proteins, and they bound on the this is a chromatin. They bound on the bacterial antigens and activate the other enzymes and kill the bacteria. And this is the activity of neutrophils. And what is the activity of macrophage? So these macrophages, they can present the antigen on the cell membrane. If this is the DNA, specifically chromosome number 6, they have specific antigen, specific gene sequence. This is a specific gene sequence. They are responsible for producing some proteins known as MHC protein molecule. They are the major histocompatibility complex. Actually, there are three different types of antigens are there. This is circular in shape, square and triangle. So these MHC molecule, they are specific to fit into the antigen. See, these MHC complex are of two types. Type 1 and type 2 are there. Type 1 can be seen in the cell membrane of almost every cell in an organism. But the type 2, they are restricted to cells of immune system called macrophages and lymphocytes. So these MHC2 molecules, they goes and bind with different types of antigen, and see, they go and bind with different types of antigen, and these antigens, they are released into the lymph nodes. Like the neutrophils, what they did, same like that. These MHC2 molecule, they release the antigen, and these antigen, they go into the interstitial fluid. They go into the interstitial fluid and circulate into the lymph nodes. This is the cellular events of the inflammation. Now I think you all are clear with the vascular and cellular events of inflammation. Thank you.